record. Hi, welcome to our summer transformation information call. That was kind of a lot to say in one sentence. I'm Jen Rosen. I am really excited that you're here. I'm a regenerative health coach and practitioner, and Deetra Clark will also be hosting this call with me, and she will introduce herself when she comes on in just a little bit. But I wanted to jump right in. I really value your time. Thank you so much if you're watching the replay. So you are here because you're interested in feeling good in your body during the summer, which is the easiest time to get ourselves into a place of feeling awesome. I don't know about you, but I know I've been out on the lake and on boats, and there's nothing better than having cellular energy out when you are in the heat. It's so awesome to feel hydrated and feeling so good. So wanted to kind of talk to you right away about the couple of options that we have. So we have a couple of options to join our community, and we're going to talk about the ultimate lifestyle transformation. We're going to talk about the juice bar in a bag. And then Deetra is going to talk about our Transformation Plus performance. And those are the three that you can join our community. And you will be placed in our Facebook group, where we're going to have lots of fun things in there for you, and classes, cooking classes, and some other lives. And it's going to be a really great environment and really supportive. And then we also have 2 support calls a week as you join our community to really just help you along this path. And then we also have a regenerative health app where you can find a lot more educational resources. So what is regenerative health before I go into the packages? Regenerative health is really just getting to the root cause. So you may be joining because you have some ailments in your body you would no longer like to have. Many of us, actually all of us, are working on our health. We've never completely, truly arrived, but some of us have some deep health issues that we would like to address. Others of us just want to feel better in our own skin. And so why don't you drop a 1 in the comments if any of that resonates with you? If you're like, I have got issues, I have something big that I really want to reverse and get to the root cause of it. Whatever you're dealing with, we can help you and point you in the right direction. And at the end of this call, we're actually going to suggest certain things for you. So at the end of the call, we'll open up to Q&A, and we can, myself and Deetra, we can make some recommendations based upon your health goals and what you are experiencing today. So the first thing I want to talk about is just kind of brief overview of our bodies, because we are all human. It doesn't matter where you come from, backgrounds, race, how you were raised. I don't know about you, but I was raised on cheese, macaroni and cheese, boxed foods, microwaves. I ate all the things. I ate chips like it was my main food group. And so I came from just a standard American diet, right? I was born in the 80s, and I have never had a moment in my life not around or being surrounded by chemicals. And so many of us also have been, I was vaccinated as a kid. I took tons of prescription medications when I was a child. And so, our parents just did the best they could with the information that they had. And so we like to say here, when you know better, you can do better. And education is so important. So just really brief education for you. Our bodies are a pH center. And the only thing that is acidic in our body is our stomach acid. The rest of our body is actually an alkaline. So what that means is, like, our saliva is alkaline. Our lymph system is alkaline. All of the other things in our body are alkaline. So we are made up of 75 trillion some odd cells, and we have 2 fluid systems, and our blood has to stay a 7.4 pH, an alkaline pH, or we die, basically. And so that makes up 20% of our body. And the lymphatic system makes up the rest of the 80. And the reason why I'm telling you this is it's just kind of basic understanding of the body. So when we have too high acid base in our diet and in our body, which is very corrosive and really hard on the system, our body is constantly robbing from a couple of other things to keep our blood and alkaline and our body alkaline. So we're robbing from water, calcium, cholesterol, and fat to be able to buffer these acids. And so things will pop up in our system. Like I was 30 years old dealing with an autoimmune disorder, unexplained infertility. When I did get pregnant, gestational diabetes and constant sickness throughout that pregnancy. And I was dealing with chronic fatigue and chronic nerve pain in my body. These things are not normal, especially for a 30-year-old, but just not normal in general as a human being. Pain is an indication. It's a huge scream that your body is too acidic, and your body is robbing from all these different places. So autoimmunity, cancer, all kinds of ailments in the body can really relate back to gut health and the internal environment. So it really is simple. We need to get our bodies into the right alignment. So as we heal the gut, have a healthy microbiome, open up our elimination pathways, which obviously there's 2 ways to eliminate. And there's technically 3 ways, but the 2 ways that we eliminate is through the urine and of course through pooping. And yes, we will probably talk about poop on this call. It's okay. We like it. It's a good thing. When we're eating, we should be eliminating. And so we need to get those elimination pathways open so that you can really have optimal health. And so as humans, we go through 4 things mainly. We have to digest our food. And typically as Americans, we get it wrong with digestion. And then we need to absorb. And then we need to utilize it, and then we need to eliminate it. And so those are the 4 main functions of the body. So what we do here is we really just focus on, well, 1, we got to get the digestion right. And then we can focus on the utilization and the absorption and the elimination, and it all works together. So let's talk about why you're here. And the reason why we have partnered with Purium is because it is really the purest and the most premium way that you can get alkalinity into your body and really transform your body overnight and quickly. And all of these foods, because that's what they are, a lot of people mistake them as supplements, but supplements to me are isolated chemistries, and isolated chemistries are quite hard on the body. They can really tax your liver, and Deetra might be going into a little bit more of that here when she comes back on, but this is not isolated chemistry. It's not made in the lab. It's not made of synthetics. What we have here is whole foods that are grown in healthy soil. So think of healthy soil as important as healthy bodies. So we get everything that we need directly from our soil health because our food is grown in soil. And so if the soil is depleted, so is our bodies. So we are focusing on getting our nutrition, our superfoods, from healthy soil so that our body can start to work properly. So the first package I want to talk to you about is our Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. It's what I first started on. And like I said, just briefly, I was suffering greatly. And when I started, I needed to see an immediate change because I was in that much pain and suffering. And in the first 6 days when I first started, I saw a decrease in inflammation by 6 pounds, and my chronic nerve pain completely went away. I did not have any shooting nerve pain after 6 days. And so this is really our parasite cleanse and a way to just flood the body with nutrients. So you're going to get your essential amino acids. This is essentially vegan protein, but it's how the body folds protein inside you. And it is our simplest form. And it is 99.9% bioavailable. It's pre-digested. It's easy to just get into your system and utilize it, build healthy muscles. Our phyto and micronutrients are coming from the Power Shake. And the Power Shake is your superfoods that we can't find on the market, and also the healthy fats. And it's great for just nourishment, satiation. A lot of our clients will say, my gosh, I'm not at the fridge begging for more food, even though I'm full. And so that's that satiation where your cells are like, wow, I'm actually getting nutrition like that is meeting my cells and my happiness internally. And then the third part is a biomedic. And the biomedic is awesome. It is an herbal protocol, proprietary herbal blend with fulvic and humic acid in it. And this is impeccable for getting chemical pesticides out of your belly wall. Glyphosate, that's a whole nother topic. And if you're curious about learning more about glyphosate, please message the person who brought you here. We can educate you more about what that is. But it is essentially a chemical pesticide that creates what's called a mucoid plaque in your belly wall. And this is that distended belly. So it's like big belly and like you can't figure out the bloat, or maybe you're having brain fog and can't get off the couch, just energy is lacking. And so that's usually coming from that mucoid plaque. So once we start to peel those away, you're going to have like a flatter stomach, and you're going to see that kind of go down because we hold a lot of that in our bowel walls. And then you're going to have you're going to feel like your brain fog is lifting and more energy. And this is also a pre and probiotic due to the nature of what is in it. And it's a healthy one as well. So it's not going to overpopulate your gut. So that's our third component. Our fourth is our apothecary, which is just cherries. It is a concentrated form of cherries. So we take the water content out of it. And this is your healthy sleep support. And this is super vital for human health. We need to be able to sleep and really get into a healing rest overnight. So between 10 and 4 is when we really need to be resting our eyes. And this will help your body naturally produce melatonin in your gut. And it tastes great as well. And so those are the 4 main products that you're going to get with most of the things that we're going to talk about today. And then with our cleanse, you're going to get that microbial and parasite cleanse that you would take for 10 days. And it is an herbal protocol. And you take that for 10 days and it just removes those pathogens and parasites. Everyone has them. If you breathe, you have parasites. It's super natural. But we want to get the bad ones out so that your immune function can increase, your cellular energy can take over, and will feel lighter and happier after you do so. So let's say you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do a cleanse, or I just think I want to have more of an easy option. So we also have our juice bar in a bag. Most people don't have time to sit and juice all these fruits and veggies, right? So in this bag, you're going to get like 50 different plants and vegetables, and all completely ready and available to you. And you just add water to them and mix them together. I mean, it literally takes you about 1 minute. And I know how much time it takes to juice because I do juice, and it takes a lot of dedication. And so I honestly love the juice bar in a bag for that very reason, because they're super foods and it's so easy to make beautiful concoctions, mocktails, and it's just really nourishing your body from within. And there's 6 different superfood blends, and then there's like pretty much an endless amount of combinations. You can mix them together. And then you can also use the cherry juice too, if you'd like to purchase the cherry juice with it as well, to have a grounding factor with it as well. So that is our juice bar in a bag. And then it comes with a cute bag too. So if you're going to the beach, just throw it in a bag and you're ready to go. So it's a great option for us busy moms or busy individuals that are, running around during summertime. And now I'm sorry, I'm winded because I'm getting all this information as much as possible to you. And now I want to turn it over to Deetra Clark, my business partner and friend. And she is going to just talk about that ULT plus performance option. And also she's going to share a little bit of her health testimony.
Thanks, Jen. Hello, everybody. So I want to talk about one of our most popular packages, and it is my favorite. So my favorite package is the ULT Plus Performance. When I came in a year ago, we did not have this option. We added it shortly after. So I was kind of piecing it together. But the ULT Plus Performance is everything that Jen shared about, plus you really get to work on your athletic performance, building muscle, and recovery. So you're working on better digestion, you're working on deep sleep, you're working on the gut health component, while combining dehydration. Like when we work out and we're sweating a lot, and sometimes we're not drinking enough water in the day, or we get thrown products like Gatorades and Powerades, which actually dehydrate the body. They actually like deplete you of electrolytes instead of adding back in. So this is getting you electrolytes in a very natural, organic way. It's going to help with getting oxygen to your cells, or what we call cellular ATP. That is really what your cells need to recover and to keep going. It helps with rapid recovery. So when we work out, or if we're walking, whatever we're doing, our muscles are actively working, but we can build up something called lactic acid. And that creates this soreness where you're like, oh, this doesn't feel so good. And it's really acid built up in the cells that we want to get. Going to help to repair your muscles. So for me, it's the best of both worlds. And a little bit about me. When I started with Purium a year ago, I really came in feeling like I was very, very healthy. I love to work out. I'm an athlete. I was eating 100% organically. So I just knew all the things. And this was actually something that I was starting to help other people, not realizing how much suffering that I was actually in until I got these superfoods in my body. So for probably 12 years, I've worked out 6 days a week, 5 a.m., regardless of what time I went to bed, pushing my body really hard with high intensity workouts, and my adrenals were taxed. They were worn out, and I didn't realize it. I was just used to, oh, I just have a high capacity. I can just keep going. But really, my adrenals were like, we need you to stop. We cannot keep going at this pace. Out, I was taking a lot of supplements because that's what you do, right? You supplement to build your muscles, you supplement because it makes you feel better with your workout routine. But I was supplementing with isolated supplements, which is what Jen mentioned earlier. And when you're using isolated supplements, they're really made in a lab, and it creates a great deal of stress on your liver. So I was stressing out my liver, which was also impacting my hormonal health. So I had the longest cycles of probably anybody I know. They were like 9 to 10 days. They were so heavy. We have 4 kids. I've nursed all 4 of our kids. So I just thought, this is kind of my mom bod, right? This is what happens when you have children, is your cycles get longer. But actually, it was my liver health that was impacting my hormonal health, and I was greatly depleted. And so adding in this level of nourishment and doing this detox and really replenishing my body at the cellular level has been transformative for me. And I like to share that story because so many women suffer with like crazy cycles during the month, PMS symptoms. So many women struggle with feeling run down, or maybe you feel like you have all the energy in the world, which is also adrenal fatigue. And so some of these things that we've come to accept as normal, they're just common, but they're not. And so I like to share my story because to look at me, you would think that I was very, very healthy with nothing going on, but internally, my body was really asking for a reset. And so if you're on this call and you like to work out, or even if you don't. I think that the ULT Plus Performance is one of our most well-rounded packs because of the level of nourishment you get at every level. But also, like I said, we split this package between me and my husband and our 4 kids. And so it's the greatest value for your money if you have a family as well. So whether you work out or you have a family that you want to share this with, we have found this package to be amazing. So with that, it is 12:50. So I want to open up these last 10 minutes for any questions that you may have. I know we kind of ran through this information because we really want to honor your time, but we would love to help to make a protocol suggestion for you. Or if you're like, I don't know, this is kind of where I'm at. Which protocol do you recommend for me? We're happy to help make recommendations to get you started well and in the right direction. So I will turn it back over to Jen, and we'll just open up. And if you feel more comfortable to put your question in the chat, you can do that as well, and we'll answer it there.
Thanks, Citra. Yeah, like she said, we're here for you. So if you're on this call, use this time to ask us questions. Let us know what you're experiencing, and we can make some recommendations for you based upon that. And you can raise your hand. So if you're new to Zoom, which some people are, there is a reaction button at the bottom, and you can click on that and raise your hand, or you can put your questions in the chat.
Hi, ladies. This is Hope.
Hi, Hope.
Hi. Thanks so much for putting this call on for us. I apologize. I have my 3 kids at the table, coloring and stuff. So if you hear noise, it's
No
mom
worries.
life. So Deidre, I apologize. I came out and was putting a fire out just like 5 minutes ago when you were talking about sharing the ULT with the performance with your kids and your husband. Can you explain how you did that? And then I'm a little like, I just want to like the step-by-step, like in the morning you do this, in the afternoon you do this. This is what you should see, all that kind of stuff. And what do you eat in between?
Yeah.
If that explains. Okay.
Yep, that's a great question. So the ULT Plus Performance is, it's the Power Shakes, the Biomedic, which is the pre and probiotic. It is super amino 23. It's the cherry juice and that parasite cleanse, but it also comes with something called super xanthan, which is great for removing free radicals from the body. We're all exposed to them. They're everywhere. It comes with Can't Beat This, which is, it's beets. It's great for cellular ATP. It's a great coffee replacement. It's also a pre and post workout. Cocoa Hydrate, which is a great replacement for like a Gatorade or a Powerade. It's good for just getting deep hydration into your body. Aloe Digest, which is great for digestion, and it has fulvic and humic acid in it. And then it comes with 2 bags of plant-based pea protein, chocolate, and vanilla. So what we do is, and to answer your question about the schedule, we have a schedule that we share with all of our customers that come in on one of our transformations that literally walks you through the beginning of your day all the way to the end, including recipes. So we'll share that with you. But what we do in my home is everybody gets a shake. We all start our morning with fruit, and with the shake, we take our supplements or our herbs. So the Biomedic, we take our aminos, and then we split the Can't Beat This. We split the protein. We split the Cocoa Hydrate. And so everybody is just making shakes throughout the day of their preference, because with our juice blends, you really can make an unlimited amount of options with how you blend it up. And so my kids just make it based on their preference throughout the day. My husband takes a shake with him to work, and then he will have a shake before he works out. And so I just have it available in our home, and they know how to make their shakes. We have an easy little travel bottle that blends up, and we can take that with us.
Yeah.
Is that helpful, Hope?
I was just gonna add, that was great, Deetra. I was just gonna add what you eat in addition to this. So we just recommend, and like Deetra said, we'll send you all this stuff and recipes, but we just recommend as much plant life as possible. So just kind of shifting from like processed foods and tons of meats and tons of cheeses and just kind of like that American standard diet to really eating more plant life and just getting used to like more alkalinity in your diet. So, we try and start with like fruits till noon, veggies in the afternoon, and then kind of having like whatever you normally do for dinner. Going as green as possible, of course, would be super helpful to your body. So that's kind of the rhythm we get into. But this is really replacing a lot of meals and foods because they are real meal replacements as your body shifts. You'll see that I'm I'm eating just watermelon. And I just had, my superfoods before this. So I just kind of like add in fruit as I see fit, throughout my days. Okay, do you have any other questions?
Out of curiosity, aside from the ULT that I'm currently on, is there another product of ours that helps with adrenal fatigue or helps heal them? So we recommend, we can't say heal because we're not doctors, but we recommend the Be Energetic to support your adrenals and also really focusing on getting your elimination pathways open. So your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys, and the cherry juice that is in your ULT that you're currently taking, you can sip on that throughout the day. You don't have to just limit it to the nighttime. So sipping on it throughout the day will help to open up your kidneys to get your kidneys filtering, moving more waste out of the body. And that will also help to support your adrenals in addition to the Be Energetic. And so you can go into iShop Purium, just log in and add that. It's super reasonable. It's like $20 and it's amazing adrenal support.
Absolutely. And I would also recommend White American Ginseng after like the first 2 months after Be Energetic. Awesome. Are there any other questions while you have us? Okay, a couple more here. Okay, great, Cecilia. Awesome. I missed the beginning, sweat face. What is recommended for fatigue, low iron, and vitamin D deficiency? So I would recommend doing our ULT, our transformation. You're going to get all your needs with that. Fatigue, it depends on kind of throughout the day. Are you fully fatigued? Do you need a nap? Do you need stimulation? I mean, that's adrenal health. So we need to support your adrenals as well. So I would recommend our Be Energetic with our transformation. But as you reduce the amount of parasites in your body and increase your cellular energy with our ULT or transformation, you're going to see a huge shift in your body, and the iron deficiency and the vitamin D deficiency will go up with that as well. And if you have room in your budget, I would also add the Zinc Aid. The zinc is immune support, also has A, C, D, and E vitamins in there, and it's an all whole foods zinc support. So I would add that in as well. Deetra, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's good. I think that's great. Nicole says, what would you recommend for postpartum nursing mothers? So I would recommend the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, taking out the herbal parasite cleanse. Just set that aside until you're finished nursing, or you can share it with a partner. But I recommend that for the deep level of nourishment. Nursing a baby is a full-time job, and postpartum mama, getting your body back into functioning optimally, you really need that cellular nourishment. So that's what I would start with, is the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. And I would just stay on that for a couple of months. I really wish that I had this after I had each of my 4 babies. I would have been a different type of mama for sure.
Oh my gosh, for sure. So Kristen was saying, yeah, same question for breastfeeding moms, and also one that is gluten sensitive. Yeah. So during a ULT, so if you purchase a ULT pack with our transformation, you would just give the parasite cleanse to your partner, or just hold on to it until you're done
Yeah.
breastfeeding. And everything in there is completely, totally fine. Some products are not actually certified gluten-free, but they are gluten-free by nature. But it's really, really amazing for postpartum nursing mamas. Okay, so there's more questions in the chat. Do you want to type and then I'll have Nicole come off mute?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So just a question, could you guys address what makes this protocol different? Like, why is this different? Like, can somebody just go, I don't know, to Kroger and go get something else? Or like my best friend, you know, she's like hot at GNC, she be doing this stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
what
my
makes
gosh.
this different? And
Totally.
like, just briefly.
Yeah,
Thanks.
totally. I'll take that, Jen, if you'd like. So this is not GNC, and there is really nothing like this on the market. So everybody right now is talking organic, buy organic, buy organic. When we talk about organic, we mean it, because we have the USDA organic seal because of the owners of our company. So everything in our protocol has been grown in regenerative soil, and that's a huge deal. It takes like 3+ years to get the soil in the state of actually being able to be called regenerative. That means that it has been grown like hundreds of miles away from any kind of industrialization to avoid runoff of glyphosate and pesticides and all the junk that gets in our food, mold, things like that. So we've used like careful farming practices. All of our superfoods are third party tested. And so we're using beyond organic standards, and there's really nothing that compares. Say like, is this okay? And maybe it has organic on there, or maybe it has one independent organic ingredient, but the rest is isolated. Even if it says organic, that does not mean that it's been grown in regenerative soil. And that's important, because if you're not putting things in your body that are organic, that have been grown in regenerative soil, that are free from the common allergens, you're putting more bacteria into your body. So it's kind of like I'm trying to get stuff out and I'm trying to feel better, but I'm putting stuff back in that's actually creating more stress on my body. So you really want to become a conscious consumer, where you're being really, really strict with the level of nourishment you're putting in your body. And that's what we're offering here. That really is the difference. And I would put our superfoods up against anything else on the market. And I can say that because I've used a whole bunch of junk in my life. And so doesn't mean organic. And so we really want to be very conscientious in what we put in, and we're an open book. So we're happy to share with you our farming practices and what it is that we're doing that allows us to say the things that we say about our superfood practices. Does that answer for you, Nicole?
Yes. And I put another question that I received in the chat.
How do you know if you have adrenal fatigue? Is the assumption we all have parasites in our bodies? Do you eat grains? I love grains.
So do you want me to take one of those questions, or? Okay, so let's just go one by one. How do you know if you have adrenal fatigue? So there's different markers in your body, like, the first stage of adrenal, weakness is, you're just needing stimulation when you wake up. So typically Americans are like, where's my cup of coffee? Don't talk to me. I will bite your head off unless I get some stimulation in my body. And this is the first sign of adrenal weakness, because our bodies should feel energized naturally just at rising out of bed. Just like, hey, I'm here. I don't need a stimulant. And then the second stage would be like, okay, I'm really struggling throughout my day to kind of like keep my eyes open. I feel like I really, am having a hard time having energy, sustained energy throughout the day. And then I would say the third stage is like, I absolutely have to take a nap. Like, I am not going to function unless I get a nap today. And where you literally cannot keep your eyes open and you're having to nap, or you're having to drink, 5 cups of coffee a day to stimulate. And then stage 4 is a really, really, really bad. I mean, that's pretty much where your adrenals like are not functioning at all. And that is like depressed, like you are in your bed, cannot get out of bed, like you have zero energy whatsoever. So there's kind of these 4 stages of adrenal fatigue, and deep fatigue is typically named, I think they call it like chronic fatigue syndrome is kind of what they name it. And that is like where you're in like stage 3 and 4 of chronic fatigue. But this is a deep sign of adrenal health. And there is, the internal and the external, adrenal gland functions. And so it helps with hormone support, hormone production, as well as neurotransmitters. And it's a very important gland in your body. It's basically like the brains of the kidneys. It has so many different functions. So it's important to really nourish them and not burn them out. So a lot of athletes like Deetra tend to just push through fatigue and burn out their adrenals during workouts and doing really high hit programs, and kind of ignore these warning signs that your adrenals are not doing well. So it is important to rest and to nourish in that state, if you are in that state. Okay, so Deetra, is the assumption we all have parasites in our body?
It is a fact. We
Fact.
all have parasites. It is a fact. If you are breathing, you have parasites. They're everywhere. If you've been outside, if you've walked on the grass, you can get them from contact with another person. They're in our food, if you've eaten meat. And we are actually one of the only countries that doesn't do an annual parasite cleanse. In every other country, they're like, yep, it's time. Let's get rid of the parasites. Over here, we're like, no, we don't have any of that, but we do. And the reason that we know that is because parasites are responsible for a lot of the dis-ease that we see in our body. They're responsible for irritability and cravings. Have you ever just been sitting completely minding your business, thinking about absolutely nothing, and all of a sudden you're like, I have a craving for a piece of cake? Or you get specific and it's a certain type of cookie, or it's a salty thing. That is parasites communicating with your brain. And so we all have them. And the only way to rid our body of them is to do one, to clean up the internal terrain, to get the body alkaline where parasites are uncomfortable and they can't survive, but also to do a parasite cleanse. And then we also have to get rid of the eggs, because parasites, they lay eggs. And so it's a cycle that just keeps going. And so you don't just happen to get rid of them. You have to intentionally work on die off. And then the last question is, do you eat grains? I love grains. So I actually am probably a little more than 90% grain free. That just feels better for me personally. My body seems to feel better that way. I don't have that I need to lay down and take a nap. Grains make me rather tired. So I'm mostly grain free, and I do our grain free pack. Now, am I going to say that you can't ever have a grain? Absolutely not. And this is not an all or nothing protocol. And so we are meeting each person where they are. And so if you're in the stage where you're like, I'm not quite ready to give that up yet, that's okay. We can meet you in that place. So for me personally, what I found is the more that I cleanse, the more that I realize what doesn't serve my body anymore. And so then I release those things, but we're all in process.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I still eat greens like Deetra said from time to time, but I honestly truly feel best when I'm grain free. But Our Power Shake is not grain free and it's amazing. That's what I started on, and it has organic sprouted oats and so good for you and so alkalizing for the body. So Karen, the company name is Purium, Purium. And I'm not sure who invited you here, but she can share with you a code and get you some more information on the company and their standards and their practices. And if you are experiencing something specific, let us know and we can make our recommendations. Otherwise, we will end the call.
All right. Thanks.
Hi, yeah, did you have any questions? Maybe not. All right. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks everybody. And like we said, if you were invited here, these people love you dearly and they want you to feel so amazing in your body and in your mind and in your spirit. And so please reach back out to them and they'll get you the right information to get you started. And we start our transformation on Monday and we'll get you added into our Facebook group as you come in. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.